Hey everybody, it's Doug here, bringing you our next episode of Tiny Epic Defenders using the Dark Wars expansion. And before we get playing, I do want to address something. There's been a little confusion from people about how the dire enemies work, so I thought I'd address it. It's really not complicated, but there's one dire enemy that we have that is kind of throwing it off for people. And it's because their ability actually activates different than a normal dire enemy, but we're going to cover it just so you understand. So, if a dire enemy card is drawn, it's resolved the same as a regular enemy card with the following exceptions. Dire enemies only attack one region, blah. If a defender in the dire enemy's region chooses to defend against it, they must lose 2 health to defend instead of 1. If a dire enemy is not defended against, it raises the threat by 1 in the region attacked, and then also triggers an effect listed on the card. So the reason that is come into question is because we have I think it's the siren or whatever, that it causes a tsunami. And the tsunami specifically states it triggers before the players defend because it pushes them out of the region, and that's what's causing the confusion. So normally, under normal circumstances, if you defend, then you stop the ability. However, Harpier also has the Ironhide ability. It says, if a dire enemy attacks the region you are in and you do not defend, you basically stop its ability, but you still increase the threat in the region. So there's 2 things that affect dire enemies. Okay, with that being said, we can get right in and start playing now. So we defeated our first general. Also, just for a little pointer, I've been playing from 0 to 5. For some reason, I guess that's annoying to some people, so I'm going to move them all up so they all start with their hit points at the top and go down instead of up, just to make it easier. It's easier for me to track visually, but it doesn't really matter. It's not important, so we'll do it the way it suggests. Okay, and then let's start taking our turns. Remember, in the last round, Terex got this Dragon Familiar. Hopefully that will come into play. We can spend 2 of Terex's actions, but now all of the regions are back to full health. So we're back to 3 actions until a region has been destroyed, and then we'll have 4. But right now we have 3. Anyway, we've got the deck all ready to go. So let's just get started. We know that we've seeded the deck the way it's supposed to be. So the first one's going to be forest and mountains. Well, so we can't really do anything about the forest, right? So the forest is going to go up 1, and in the mountains we do have Gamelin and Harpier. So I think that we're going to let Harpier defend, but we also have our friendly neighborhood Manticore there now. Let's move Harpier aside and see what it says. Place your defender on the Manticore so we could actually fly the Manticore, is how that works. The defender and the Manticore move together until the end of the round. This hero will defend without losing experience points, but will not gain experience points. It will defend without losing health, but will not gain experience points or artifacts. So that's kind of meh, because experience is critical. But we can defend. Yeah, we're going to defend. We're going to defend with actually Harpier, and I'll tell you why. So Harpier does lose a health and does gain an experience point. But remember, he's got the Gavel of Gamelin. It says, after defending, peek at the next 2 cards in the turn order deck. You may return these cards to the top of the deck in any order. So we're going to take the top 2 cards. So we're going to take these 2 and see what they are. We can put them back in any order. So it's going to be forced. Well, it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't really matter that much, but we'll do this one first because then we can maybe stave this one off. I'll show you how. So we're going to leave that one on top. We'll leave that one next, which by the way is right now. So we're going to take that one. It's going to be the desert and the mountains again. So the scorpions attack in the desert and bring that up 1, and then we'll go to the mountains, and we're going to have Harpier do that again. So Harpier defends again and then gains another experience point, and then uses Gamelin's Gavel 1 more time, because now we might be able to get a player's turn in first, and we will. So we're going to place this one beneath the player's turn. This one would have gone next, but we're going to place it beneath the player's turn. Now we know that the player that our guy Terex is going to go next, and remember, he's got a great special ability. So we're going to take our next turn. That was it. We suffice that. Everything's good. The mountains did not increase again. And then we're going to play our next card. So we know that it's going to be the green player, which is our hero Terrax, the bird folk raptor. Now what he's going to do for one action is going to move to here. And then for, I think, let's see, in the Twisted Wood, you may spend an action to place your defender on the Great Tree. Now, you may defend the forest only if you are in the Great Tree. You may secure the forest only if you are in the Great Tree. So, what we're going to do is we move for one. We got 3 actions. We're going to take the second action to do that. We're going to take a third action to get into the Great Tree. Okay, so Terrax is now in the Great Tree. And that's all of Terrax's actions. Now, we did that because we know that the forest is going to come in next, and we also know that Terrax's maneuverability is going to help us. So we're going to draw the next card, and we know it's going to be the ruins and the forest, right? So since Terrax is in the forest and is in the tree, he is going to defend using his maneuverability. So he goes down 2 hits, gains 1 experience points, but defends both the ruins and the forest from there. Good job, Terrax. Okay, that means we're going to go on to the next turn. Okay, we're going to draw our next card. It is going to be Gamelin. So Gamelin's going to go next. What is he going to do? Well, we know we have some dire... I don't recall if we have some dire enemies coming up or not. I don't think so. But I think we're going to prepare for them. What will he do? Let's see. We've kept everything pretty safe this turn. We're in pretty good shape here. I think what we'll do is we're going to have Gamelin... I know that we have a dire enemy that will come out in the coast and the mountains. I think we're going to move Gamelin up to the coast for 1 action. For second action, Gamelin will... second and third action, Gamelin is going to prepare. That will allow Gamelin to get 2 experience points, maybe use one of his 2 abilities if he needs them. Okay, and that is going to be the end of his turn. This first turn we're kind of restaging. We were playing a campaign version of this, so let's get on and see what's going to be next. Are all defenders. That is good. That is really good. Let's see. What do we want to do with all defenders? Well, we can... I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do with that. Well... Let me see. Yeah, I know what we're gonna do. No, that's amount. Doesn't matter. Everything's fine and dandy right now. I guess we can use those 2 actions to have. We could have Terrax. I think Harpier's gonna stay where he's at. Well, here's what we're gonna do with that. We're gonna use all 3 of those. 1, 2, 3 for Harpier to prepare. Harpier has not gained a level yet. Might be helpful to get him closer, and also we're going to want to use his first aid ability to heal him, so it's going to be very important. And then last but not least, we're going to have Harpier go. Harpier is doing pretty well. I think Harpier wants to stay in the mountains, unfortunately, because that is going to allow us to defend against some brutal enemies that might be coming up there. We know that the mountains and the coast have dire enemies that are already going to be in the deck. And we can fend them off. But what we can do, actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend 1 point to prepare. That'll put Harpier at 3. Then we're going to spend a action to move. We'll spend an action to move right here. And then I'm thinking about spending an experience point to swap this card out. So spend 1 experience after you defend, immediately move to an adjacent region. You do not gain XP. I don't know if there's... I don't know if I like that skill that much. There might be better skills for Harpier. But it would cost us an experience point. But I want to leave them there. I could also just prepare again. Why don't we do that? We're going to prepare 1 more time. Of course, I'm super concerned because if those Harpies come out and he's not there, then we're going to lose all of our experience. I can't remember if it's the Harpies or not. Whichever one comes out loses all of our experience. But we're going to take that risk, okay? Because everybody's got enough experience now to start really doing some good things. But that is going to be the end of the round, guys. So far, so good. So far, so good. So we're going to take this, flip it over. We're going to take the top card of this deck, put it there. And then we're going to shuffle these up. That's going to be our new deck. Now it's truly random, so we don't know what the order of things are any longer. We haven't really used either the Deserts or the Plains abilities to pull cards out of the deck because I haven't trusted what cards are going to be pulled next. Yeah, it's kind of risky. Now, with Harpier's Gamelin's Gavel, we could actually very effectively use one of those abilities because we'll be able to see what's under there first. But I think we've got a nice, good shuffle there. So we'll just cut it one more time, and we're good to go. And then we have one more thing we have to do. Put out our first Caravan of Refugees. It's going to be number 5, and that is going to go into the mountains. So the first refugees have come into the mountains way over there. And that's going to mark the complete end of that turn. Now we're going to get started with our next turn and see what we get. Let's draw our first card. Oh, it's going to be... Oh, that is perfect. It's going to be Harpier. Very, very good. Okay, so what is Harpier going to do? Well, Harpier is in the city for his first turn, so he becomes fully healed, so the damage he took is gone. Because whenever you start your turn in the city, you get your health back. And then he is going to move into the mountains for 1 action. That gives him... That was not an action to heal. He's still got 2 actions left. He is then going to see if he could escort the wagon back for an action. Yeah, he can get. He has got 2 actions right now, so he's going to do this. He will burn 1 experience point to bring the caravan back to the city, gaining him 2 experience points. He's now up to 5. Then he will move back for an action into the mountains where he can defend. That was a really good turn for Harpier. He escorted a bunch of refugees back to the city and was able to get all the way back to the mountains in 3 turns. That was good. So turn 1 moved out. Turn 2 brought the... Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's move on. Already got our first caravan taken care of. And it's going to be Gamelin. Well, I was hoping that Gamelin would not go quite yet, but that's okay. What will we do with Gamelin? I wish they could defer, but they can't. Okay, let's do this. Actually, I know exactly what we're going to do with Gamelin. Okay, we're going to prepare twice. 1, 2. It doesn't say this takes an action. It says spend 2 to discard a card just drawn from the turn deck and shuffle it back into the... So he's going to take all 3 of his actions to get to 5 experience points. Man, this seems right, guys. Spend 2 experience points, discard a card just drawn from the turn deck, and shuffle it back into the turn deck. Okay, so then he's going to go up to 5. He's going to burn 2 experience points, and then shuffle his own card back in the turn deck so he gets to go again because I didn't really want him to go now. That seems fair, right? He dodged whatever it was happening. Does that not seem fair? Seems fair to me. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I shuffled the turn deck again. Don't think that was cheating. We'll see. Next up, okay, this is good. So it's going to be the desert and the mountains. Well, the desert, we can't really do anything about. It does go up 1. We're going to have to solve that problem. But in the mountains, we are being attacked. Harpier is going to defend, which means he takes a point of damage, and he's up to 6 experience points. But he does defend the mountainous region. And that's pretty good for him. So we are good there. Then he's going to use his Gamelin's Gavel to draw the top 2 cards of the deck and place them in whatever order he wants. So it's going to be Yuck, Forest, and Mountains are Forest, and he'll do the Forest and Mountains first. Same reason as before, you know why. And we'll leave the other one next. So that was his, he defended the region. Now let's go on to the next turn. We're actually starting to get some really unique combos and abilities going on here. So in this one, we're going to attack the forest, right? So I have 2 choices to make here. I could attack the forest, let that happen, and let Harpier defend the mountains, which I believe we are going to do. So we're going to do that. The forest is going to go up 1, and Harpier is going to defend the mountains. That puts him down to 2. I don't think the Mana Core actually, at the end of the round, the Mana Core returns to the mountains. So basically you can go to the mountains and use it to travel around. That's really all you can do. Anyway, that puts him up at 7 experience points now, and we're going to use Gamelyn's Gavel again to see what's coming up next. So let's see what we got. Top 2 cards. Oh, we got all defenders, so that's going to go next, and then we'll defend against this. Ruins and Plains. Okay, so there we go. So the next one we know is going to be all defenders. And let's see, what will we do with that? I could get Terrax a full-on level, or he could heal with that. Actually, we're going to use Terrax's Dragon Familiar. We're going to spend 2 experience points to reduce the desert down to 1. Then we have 1 point left. I don't think we really need to do anything, except we might as well, yes, go up 1 more experience point and level up Terrax again. So that's going to bring him all the way down to 0, completely heals him up, and he's going to get another skill card. Sorry, I keep calling him Terrax, but it's Harpier. And here's the skill deck for Harpier. Harpier's going to have his 3rd skill, and 2nd, he's got 2 artifacts and 2 skills right now. He gets Awareness. If your defender card has not been drawn, spend 4 experience points to remove your defender card from the turn deck and then resolve it instead of drawing the next card. Afterwards, discard your defender card. That is really good. I like that one a lot. So it allows him to pull his card out of sequence if he hasn't gone yet. And that is going to mark the end of the all defenders action. Now we get this card. So we know it's going to be the Forest and the Ruins. Well, we can use Terrax's maneuverability. He's going to take 2 wounds. That's going to exhaust Terrax. He will get an experience point and defend both the Forest and the Ruins so they do not go up. He has stopped them from becoming threatened by the skeletons in the Ruins and the wolves in the Forest. Oh wait, I'm sorry guys, I made a huge mistake there, twice I think. Those 2 cards are both Plains cards, so I cannot actually do that with Terrax on that turn. I was fine with what Harpier did, but this actually is still at 0, and the Plains are actually at 2. So we're going to have to do something about that when it comes around. But that's okay. The green, I just green Forest, anyway, got to pay more attention. Okay, let's move on. I'm glad I caught that and resolved it. Let's continue on and see what we get now. Whoosh. Okay, now it's going to be Gamelyn's turn. Yeah, I still don't want Gamelyn to go. What's Gamelyn going to do? Now, Gamelyn, let me think. What will Gamelyn do? Well, I can tell you what he's going to do. He's going to go 1, then he's going to secure for 2, and then move back there for 3 for right now, because I still think we're going to end up with the one of the bad guys coming out there. And if he defends it, I want him in a place to defend against dire enemies, because when he does, he can reduce the threat in the city, the capital city. Okay, so let's see what happens. That was his 3 turns. Let's see what goes on. And the Harpies, the dire enemy, are going to appear in the mountains. Yes, Harpier is absolutely going to defend against them. That's going to put him down to 2. That gives him an experience point, and it also gives him a new artifact. So, I mean, Harpier is really becoming a powerful dude. Let's just give that a quick shuffle. I haven't looked to see if there's any maximum in that. Magic Backpack. You may have up to 2 additional hand artifacts. Oh, yeah, we do have limits. So now I have 2 hand artifacts. Now I can have 4 hand artifacts. You may still only use 2 at a time. Once per turn, you may swap which ones you're using. Okay, so he's got a Magic Backpack now. All right. Can't go wrong there. He can use more items. Okay, and let me go find the backpack. I'm sure it's going to be in one of these. Oh, there it is. I found it. Pretty cool. So the loaded down, artifact-ridden Harpier has a backpack on now. Let's put that in his spot there. There it is. He's got the backpack. He's got his tankard and his gavel. He's ready to fight. And he defeated the Harpies, so they're going to go into the discard pile. Okay. But that kind of hurt him. He did take 2 points of damage for that. So let's see. Yeah, that wounded him a bit, but he's okay still. Let's see what comes up next. It is Terrax. So what we're going to do with Terrax is he is going to spend 2 experience points to heal himself up to 3. He will spend 2 actions to activate his Dragon Familiar. No, I take it back. I noticed it. I can show you this. I noticed that the set of our cards is different now. The planes are in much more jeopardy. So actually, he's going to use his actions to go 1. I don't think you have to. It costs 0 to move to leave the tree. So we're going to go 1, 2. No, we'll go 1, 2, 3 to there. He moves up to the plains now, where he's going to defend that region. And that is his turn. So he spent his experience points to get almost healed up, and then he's going to go up to the plains so he can defend it there. And maybe also use that special ability of burying a card there. It says you can pray to draw the top card of the turn deck and immediately discard it. So if we know what's coming up, he can do that when his actions come up. So maybe we'll get that opportunity. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to end the round. So we're going to flip this over. Going to add another card to it. Now things get worse for us, but we're doing pretty good. I really want something to attack the coastline. I don't know if that's a good thing, because if it's the tsunami one, then and that just pushes him out of the way and he doesn't get to defend. That might not be the right one, but there was 2 that attacked the coast, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and we have another dire monster in the deck now too, so we'll see how it goes. And then we have to put another one of our caravans in play. Number 2, it is going to be in the ruins. So the caravan comes out in the ruins. We got to escort back. Well, Harpier, you know what you got to do. All right, guys. I think we're going to go one more round, and then we'll end it there. So let's keep going. I'm not finding that mana core very useful yet, but we might still. Okay, first up is going to be plains and mountains. Well, that's good. I put Terex up there for a reason, right? So he's going to defend the plains way up here at the top, and he's going to use his maneuverability. That's going to put him at 1 health. He blocked that. Cost him. He blocked it. With his maneuverability, that means neither of them go up. We're okay. Okay, let's take the next one. So it's going to be mountains and desert. Well, we're going to let that. We have to let that go. The desert takes a hit automatically, and in the mountains, Harpier is going to defend. So he is down to 1 health right now, and gives him 2 experience points. But he defended the mountains, which means he gets to use his gavel, which is one of the 2 items he's using anyway, 2 hand items. And it's going to be enemy and blue. We're definitely going to pick up the blue first. We're going to let Gamelin go first. And let me see, the other one was the plains and the Terex can still defend the plains. All right, well, okay, so now we know we put him back in that order. That is that action. Now we draw again. It's going to be Gamelin. He will go 1, 2 to there, and he will prepare and gain another experience point. So that way he can move the caravan back. The Gamelin's got no artifacts either. We really need him to take on a dire enemy of some kind. We'll see what happens. I know that the other one's coming in. You know what? Yeah. He's going to move there actually, and didn't do. Do we already have the? No, we haven't. Yeah, he's going to move there and prepare twice. So he's got 5 experience. I want him to take on a dire enemy. So that's going to be his turn. And then let's see who goes next. It's going to be, we know that. So unfortunately this goes up. We can't stop it. Terex can stop the one in his region. He will. So he's going to go, that will exhaust him, but it puts him up to 4 experience points. So he defended, but he looks like this right now. So he's going to have to heal up. Okay, next up we've got the Harpy. The Harpy comes into attack. Now normally that's going to move all the level 0s up, but Gamelin is going to jump in and take the blow from the Harpy. Now, let's take a look. First off, he defends against the dire enemy. That's going to give him 6 experience points. He's going to use his Oath ability. After defending against a dire enemy, you may pay 1 additional health, which you'll do, to reduce 1 in the capital city, which we will do, bringing the capital city down to 4. Okay, that was pretty good for him. And we're not done with him yet. I can also spend an experience point to reduce... he doesn't need to. We're okay there. He's also got his dodge ability. I'm not worried about that. As we didn't just draw him. We drew the Harpy. He doesn't want to he can't defend against the Harpy twice. But that does also now give him an artifact. So finally, he gets something good and useful. Well, hopefully. Let's see what he gets. Too bad I don't know if you can trade. I haven't looked. He gets the Horn of Command. Spend one action, choose a defender in the capital city, and move them to an adjacent region. They are restored to full health. That's pretty awesome. I like that one. It seems like really appropriate for Gamelin, who seems to be the commander, the general of the armies. Let's go find the Horn. Get that into play. And here it is. So Gamelin has picked up the Horn. He is going to put it in his hand, I guess. Right here. There we go. Oh, we can blow the horn from there. Nice. Good job, Gamelin. Okay, and then that means that the Harpy is going to go to the discard pile. We don't need to do anything with that. Okay, now let's continue on. Take our next action. It is the Sea Serpent. See, here's the one that I was concerned about. So the Sea Serpent comes here, and it says, and this is the one that confuses people, because I'm going to make it very clear. It says, before any players defend. So what happens is we have this happen, right? All of these guys move clockwise. All the heroes. It says all defenders in the outer region move one outer region clockwise. Washes up on here. Nobody can defend because Terex is exhausted, and it goes back to the deck. So, boosh. There we go. That's what I was concerned was going to happen. And actually, it's not a bad thing now, because now it makes it easier to bring that second caravan back to the city. Okay, next up we have Harpier. Harpier's going to go. Well, we know what Harpier's going to do. I think, what is it? If your defender card has not been drawn, well, it just has, so that's not going to help him at all. But we're going to prepare for one. And we're going to move the caravan one. That brings him down 1 experience points. That's his second action. His third action, be able to move that into there. That'll take him down 1 more experience point, but then he gets 2 for delivering the caravan. So both of our caravans have made it into the city thanks to Harpier. Now, when Gamelin does get to go again, he could pull Harpier out and gain him his full health and get him into a region. Might be worth doing. We'll see. Okay, but that is Harpier's full turn. Okay, next up is going to be Terex. Well, Terex is going to go 1, 2 and heal himself. And then he's going to spend 2 actions to rejuvenate, because, well, actually he's going to spend 1 to bring this back down to 0, and then spend 2 more to completely heal himself on the coast. So that puts him all the way back up to 4. That rejuvenate ability, that's what it does. Okay, then let's move on. We only got 1 more card, I think. 1 more card left for this turn, then we're going to end this episode. We know this is a bad card. Oh no, it's the All Defenders. That's good. Okay, All Defenders. Alright, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend an action to choose a defender in the capital city, move that defender to an adjacent region, and restore full health. So he does that as an action. So one of the 3 actions, we're going to move Harpier over to here, and we're going to restore him all the way back up to 4 health. He is good. He is in good shape. And then we got 2 more actions to go. Gamelin will use the secure action and fortify the ruins there just a little bit to bring them back down. That is 2 of the 3 all defender actions, and then for the last defender action, I think we'll have Harpier reduce. No. Yeah, we'll have Harpier reduce the threat in the ruins desert by 1, and that is the end of the round. So we're having a really good round this time, even though we're not even halfway. We're not even halfway through it yet. So we'll see how it goes. But we're going to add another card to our deck there, which means we'll shuffle it up. And then we'll put another caravan out, and we'll call this episode done. So guys, while we're doing this, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the subscriptions too. I'm heading on another milestone number for myself, so please keep helping me get there. I do appreciate it. Okay, this has been shuffled and ready to go. And then we got to move a caravan. It's going to be the 3rd one. It's going to be this one going into the forest. So there's a caravan in the forest. We're in the haunted woods. We've got to get there and help. Good thing we surrounded the area with heroes. We can get there quickly and do our thing. 3 more caravans to go to get them in the city, and then we can take on. We'll get to the deck and take on the next general. Once we've done that, we have 1 more round, 1 more full set of deck to go, and then we have, how many cards we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 left in the this deck before we face the next general, so we got to get on it. And yeah, lots of fun, guys. We haven't really used the Mana Core. I'm surprised. I thought it would be more useful than it has been. But we have good skills. We have good stuff. Harpier is a machine. Really digging him. The other two have their purposes. I mean, between the First Aid and the Dragon Familiar and Apterix's maneuverability, we've been able to keep some things pretty low. It's pretty good. And then Gamelin, man, getting that horn of command really made a difference for him. And if he can continue to take on dire enemies, he needs to heal up. But if he can continue to take on dire enemies, he will be able to reduce the threat back down the city back to normal, which would be awesome. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for everything in general, but and especially thanks for your participation and commentary and all that stuff. I love it. I will talk to you in the next episode, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.